Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Erudispace. I am Dr. Mohanty, and today we'll discuss about the vapor compression refrigeration cycle with superheated vapor after compression. In the two previous lectures we have discussed in details the vapor compression refrigeration cycle with dry saturated vapor after compression as well as vapor compression refrigeration cycle with wet vapor after compression. So as far as the operations are concerned, operations will be exactly same in this case as has been happening in the previous two cycles also. We will have the same components like compressor, condenser, expansion valve or refrigerant control valve, as well as evaporator. But how it is different from the two other cycles which we have discussed, that will analyze. So first what I will do, I will show the cycle with the help of temperature entropy and pressure enthalpy diagram. These two are saturated liquid, this is saturated liquid line, and this one is your saturated vapor line. This actually represents your pressure enthalpy diagram. This is saturated liquid line, this is saturated vapor line. The processes are 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 and 4, 1. This is your compression process. This one is your condensation process. This one is your throttling process, and this one is your evaporation or refrigeration process. And both the TS and PS diagram actually representing the condition of the refrigerant at various stages, because refrigerant is the working substance which flows through components like your compressor, condenser, expansion valve and evaporator. So we will consider the entry to the compressor to be 0.1. So here dry saturated vapor refrigerant enters the compressor where it is compressed. Due to compression, its pressure and temperature is raised, as you can see from both TS as well as PS diagram. The temperature corresponding to 0.2 is more than that of 0.1, and the temperature at the pressure at 0.2 is more than the pressure corresponding to 0.1. After that, it is taken to the condenser. In the condenser, it is condensed, it delivers heat to the surrounding condensing medium, and here the condensation actually takes place in two stages, that is from 2 to 2 dash and then from 2 dash 3. 2 to 2 dash is a sensible heat transfer process. That means the heat removes the sensible heat removed. As a result, the refrigerant gets converted from superheated state to the saturated state. Anything beyond the saturated vapor line is your superheated condition. So it liberates it and gets converted from superheated vapor at 2 to dry saturated vapor at 2 dash, and 2 dash 3 represents the condensation process or the cooling process which is associated with the latent heat removal. So 2 dash is sensible heat removal followed by latent heat removal. So process 2-3, or you can say process 2-3, which is your condensation, is actually an isobaric process or constant pressure process. But unlike the two previous cases, which were vapor compression cycle with dry vapor after compression, as well as the vapor compression cycle with wet vapor after compression, the condensation process is actually an isobaric as well as isothermal process. But here that is not the case. It is definitely an isobaric process, but not an isothermal process. From 2-3 it is isobaric as well as isothermal process, but not from 2 to 2-. Here it is only an isobaric process. Then it enters the refrigerant control valve or your throttling valve, where it undergoes unrestrained expansion. No work output is obtained in case of throttling, but the temperature and pressure both fall, as you can see from the figure, that P3 is more than P4, and similarly P3 is more than P4. After that it is taken to the evaporator or refrigerator. In the evaporator or refrigerator, it receives heat from the space to be cooled, and it gets converted into saturated vapor. And this is an isothermal as well as isobaric process, as you can see from both the TS as well as PS diagram. Now, the coefficient of performance, or the COP, is the ratio between the refrigerating effect divided by the work done. As already I have told you that it is an unrestrained expansion process, process 3-4, so no work output is obtained in throttling. So the work done is actually the work that is spent in compressing the refrigerant in the compression. So refrigerating effect in terms of enthalpy difference is H1 minus H4, because it is entering the evaporator refrigerator at 4 and leaving at 1, divided by the work done in the compressor, that is H2 minus H1. From the figure itself, you can make out that 3-4 is an isoenthalpic process. So as it is an isoenthalpic process, H4 is your H3, so this becomes H1 minus H3 divided by H2 minus H1. Point 3 is lying on the saturated liquid line, so H3 can be substituted by HF3 divided by H2 minus H1. Now, you can easily find out the enthalpy corresponding to point 1, because it is lying on the saturated vapor line. So H1 is nothing but HF1 plus HFG1. But as far as point 2 is concerned, it is lying on the superheated region, and enthalpy H2 is enthalpy corresponding to 0.2 dash plus specific heat times the temperature difference between the two, that is T2 minus T2 dash. You can substitute these values and find out the COP of the cycle. If the degree of superheat is not given, you can still find out the degree of superheat by comparing the entropies, because entropy at point 1 is equal to entropy at point 2, and entropy at point 2 is nothing but point entropy at 2 dash plus Cp ln T2 by T2 dash, and that is equal to S1. Now you can find out the value of T2, and once you find out the value of T2, you can find out the degree of superheat, that is T2 minus T2 dash. In this way you can find out the coefficient of performance of the cycle. So I sincerely believe that your concept about the vapor compression refrigeration cycle with superheated vapor after compression would be crystal clear after watching this video. Thank you very much for your support. I would request you to put questions if you have any doubt, and I will try my level best to clear your doubts. I would request you to subscribe to my channel Erudispace if you have not done so till now. I would further request you to share this video with your friends and relatives to improve its visibility. Hope to see you soon for another lecture on my YouTube channel Erudispace.